Here's a great idea, folks, for those who've got trees in their garden and no place to be able to plant any other wonderful flowering plants. Well, you can underplant it, and that's what I've been doing out here, preparing my little trees because they've actually been neglected. I planted these when I first moved in here about 5-6 years ago, and I installed irrigation, but I never finished installing it, so they never got their water or their fertilizer. Let me show you some here. And now what I'm doing here is underplanting each of these trees for two purposes. A, because we've got the irrigation going in here, but we're going to be watering on more regular basis and being able to look after the plants better. So whatever grows underneath will also benefit for the tree as well. But before we talk about the prep work, let's have a look at the finished result. This is a peach tree. That was again a rescued tree that I brought here and then I neglected. Luckily, we actually had peaches on it last year. There's only one this year, or two, but it's copped a beating from the weather. Now, it's also been dehydrated because they don't get any water, only from the rain. Whatever rain we get, that's the only water they've been getting. And when we first got here, so you can paint you a picture of it properly, we had no grass here, or very little grass. In fact, it was mainly onion grass. None of this cooch growing around here or anything like that. And with the rainfall, because it's just picked up in the last couple of years or so, the grass has taken off and it's grown into the tree as well. And the trees, well, they haven't had a feed for a long time. So what I've done here is underplanting, companion planting, and I've opted to go with a variety of pumpkins. These are about, I think there were about 12 different pumpkins that I brought in that I had no space in that garden bed to grow because I'm growing all the other veggies. But this space out here, plenty of room. And the biggest problem I'm going to have is that these are going to grow into the grass. The grass is going to grow through them. That's fine. But what we've done to get it to that stage is prepared the base. When we've dug it out, we've added our planting mix and our mulch on top and simply planted it in there. That's as simple as it gets. But let's have a look at the prep work. You may have a tree in the veggie garden. Lucky you can plant that. You may have it in a garden bed or you may have it in a lawn area. These are all in the lawn area, obviously. Now, when it comes to underplanting, it's not a good idea to just put some soil down or even just try and dig into the ground here to plant into the existing soil, especially if you've got cooch going on there. What I've done here is I've brush cut this down to basically bare soil. There's plenty of grass still in here, roots. Plenty of cooch in here. In fact, it'll be down at least 150 mil. That's how deep the roots will be on the cooch grass. So the aim for me is to be able to remove as much cooch as possible in this 1.5 meter diameter so that I can get my plants to grow quick enough before the cooch kicks back into gear and takes over. So the first thing I did here is brush cut it flat to the ground to expose the soil. And then after that, we've actually dug all this down about 100 mil, and you can see, look at that, it's all soft. All this is still going to be removed. There's nothing but grass clippings, seed in here, everything you want to see to grow if you want to grow grass. This is perfect for grass growing, not for a veggie bed. But then what we do with this is top it up with our planting mix. And this is another one that I've done here. This is a mulberry tree. Now, this was going to go to heaven because, again, no water, no life, and it's struggled. It hasn't grown a hell of a lot. It's actually died back because I haven't been looking after it. So I've taken an oath that I'm going to start looking after this little section here. I've got so many areas to look after. I'm beside myself trying to keep on top of it all. But nevertheless, this tree needs to be pruned right down because it's grown straight up there. And I was planning to do this earlier on, but I may as well do it now. I'm actually going to bring it down to, even that's too high for me. I want it here. See all the dead wood as well? All this dead wood here? That's all got to come off. That's useless. You can see we've done a couple of prunes in the past. So quickly remove all this. This is another, oh, what do you reckon? It's soft wood, the mulberry. I'm going to give it a go. The lowies, number one. Can they perform? Yes. All right, that needs a pruning saw to clean it up. No good to me up there. Now I can cut it here, or I might take it right down to there. No, let's just start here for now because I don't have the pruning saw with me. Cut that off. Oh yeah. Okay. You know, we've got fruit coming on here, finally. After so many years. Oh, I'm terrible, I know. Anyway, let's get back to the base. Now the base, for those who are worried about underplanting on existing trees, some trees are very shallow, some trees in the root system that is, whereas some trees will have a deeper root system. And you saw earlier under the olive tree where we've dug down about 4 inches, we haven't exposed any of the roots. We didn't even touch, that's because we had grass. The couch grass was so matted into there that the tree's roots had grown down below that. It's almost competing against the couch grass. Now that would be okay if I was constantly feeding and irrigating the area and mulching it. These plants had nothing, just grass growing over the top, as opposed to what I've got in the orchard where there's 150, 200 mil of mulch and compost added there over the last couple of years. So the trees are more than happy. They're getting their nutrient takes. They've got the microbial activity going on there, whereas these were starved from food and moisture, and the grass was taking whatever little was there. So if you've got to dig down, do a little bit of inspection first, start digging a little bit before you expose too much of an area or you go hammer and tong into it and destroy the roots. If you find roots, well, ease off and work around it. The aim is to get rid of the grass if you can, as much of it as possible. This is only going to be one season, folks. And you're all thinking that creature's is going to grow straight back into it. Yes, it is. But I'm going to give these plants a fighting chance to grow as fast as they can. And they're pumpkins. Let's compare that pumpkin, just before we go, to the ones I already planted. These were in pots, and you see the size of them? Well, have a look at the size of these. Same age, folks. Those ones have been in the pot all this time. These went in the ground about 3 or 4 weeks ago. If that, I reckon. I can't remember exactly, probably about 3 weeks ago, but they've already taken off. We've got pumpkins developing already on it, everywhere. There's little ones here, there's another one over there, there's another variety over here, and there's one hiding over there. The potato patch with pumpkins, and it's running off already. Oh look, it's formed. Let's hope it's been pollinated, eh? We've got one there already. Plenty of males here, that's for sure, so we're doing okay with the males, and we've got a female in there. We've got another female here, because that's where the flowers grow off, the fruit. So when you see the fruit, that's a female flower growing on the end. So folks, if you haven't got enough space in your garden and you want to plant some more varieties in there, think about companion planting under your fruit trees or ornamental trees. Dig the grass out if there's grass there, as careful as possible without damaging the roots. Add your organic matter. I love using my planting mix. I swear by it, because everything I've planted into it has just taken off crazily. And then you mulch on top of that and then put your plants in it. It doesn't have to be pumpkins, it could be spring onions, it could be lettuce, it could be flowering plants as well. Provide the good growing medium for them and everything will thrive in there. Check out our website, vasilisgarden.com, if you're looking for some planting mix. We've got plenty of that as well. From me, Vasily, Maresi.